In regards to in this era and the prior era in Indonesian football, there has been kind of steps made, innovations made at the grassroots level. For example, Pak Erick Thohir just recently did an opening ceremony for a youth tournament that has taken place as well. And it has shown that there is a lot of youth potential, but there's this gap between the highest level and to where the grassroots are. So what have you got planned in the first 100 days? Do you have any plans to visit any of the regions or to meet any of the coaches and staff in these areas in order for you to get a better understanding on what it is that they need exactly at these levels and in these different areas for them to be able to connect or close the gap? That's the first part of the question. Maybe you can address that first.
Yeah, so first we need to identify the challenges and we need to set the key priorities where we can make the quick wins, and that has to be in the first 100 days, needs to be being done by analyzing, by listening, by talking with the stakeholders, talking with the coaches, talking with the tutors, talking with the national team coaches, talking with the talent ID department. Okay, what are the challenges now? How we can move forwards? What are the priorities? Because there are maybe a long list, but we have to take, okay, where we can now make the quick wins. So the first 100 days, we want to take the moment for ourselves to say, okay, where we can set our targets for the short term, where we can go to the growth, to the long term, and where we can go for the midterm and the long term. Because it's a process. We cannot implement all at the same time because there's a full ecosystem. It needs to be developed and improved altogether in a step-by-step process. And it needs to be doable together.
Okay, and also a second part of that question was in Indonesian football philosophy. You mentioned philosophy a few times in our conversation, and there's a philosophy that Iksan referred to, which is Villanesia. Is there something that you can use to be implemented in our football federation?
Yeah. So a national football philosophy is based on to respect the past. So recognize what was the strength of Indonesian football before. What was the strength of Indonesian legendary players? What make them different? What make them unique? And at the same time, benchmark Indonesian football to reach our targets. So with top international level. So, okay, where are the gaps for our future players? So, where we need to work more on, what player we need to have in the future. So, that's for the player identity. But then we need also to identify how our national teams, how the teams should express themselves on the pitch. So, there need to be a connection between the values of Indonesia and to the style of play, in the way how we coach and how we teach them. And that needs some investigation, benchmarking, setting also with data, also with interviews, also listening to what was the strength in the past to rely on. Because we must not forget what happened in the past with your Indonesian legendary players. This is strength, this was your identity, these were your heroes. So we should carry them also to the better future.
Thank you. Untuk menjawab pertanyaan pertama mengenai gimana caranya untuk membuat ini ya, yang pertama adalah gimana caranya untuk bisa identify atau mengenali tantangan yang dihadapi, yaitu Alex mempercayai bahwa ada kebutuhan untuk bisa meraih quick wins atau kemenangan yang lebih cepat. Itu artinya hal-hal yang bisa diselesaikan lebih cepat atau short term, ya, solusi untuk masalah yang atau tantangan yang lebih short term, di mana itu akan membawa mereka untuk mencari solusi untuk mid term dan long term juga, karena ini sebuah proses yang cukup panjang, ya. Dia harus melakukan ini dengan analisa dan iya benar dengan ngobrol sama stakeholder juga dan para pelatih juga, dan again, balik lagi ke identifikasikan bakat ya. Ini satu hal yang sering dibahas juga oleh Alex karena ini sebuah penting. Dan mengenai identitas sepak bola di Indonesia, dia sangat mempercayai bahwa masa lalu kita emang harus dihargai ya. Apa kekuatan pemain-pemain kita atau pemain nasional kita dari zaman dulu, apa yang membuat mereka beda, apa yang membuat mereka unik, dan ini hal-hal yang bisa menjadi benchmark untuk kita bisa lihat ke masa depan juga. Jadi untuk kita bisa menilai dari pemain kita sekarang dan apa tujuan kita untuk ke depan. Referring to the Indonesian philosophy that was published by the Indonesian Football Federation in 2017, Villanesia, and if you have or are not familiar or not familiar with it, and also how you plan on using technology to be able to connect and kind of develop, because the youth now are very connected with technology, and how this will help enable football development in Indonesia as well.
Yeah. So it's very important to have a sustainable, successful project where your national team is performing on the highest level and where your talents keep on developing on the highest level, is that you're all the time up to date with the modern standards of the game. So you need to benchmark and challenge yourself all the time. Where are the weak points? Where are the strong points? And through data, for example, you can compare how the performance is being done inside the leagues, domestic leagues, local leagues, professional leagues, senior football, but also with your own national teams, and then benchmark it to reachable countries in the region itself. And then you put yourself in the step-by-step process up. So the national football philosophy needs to be continuously updated and refreshed. So because development is an ongoing process where you need to be up to date, because other countries are moving, other countries are investing.
Thank you, Alex. Ini mengenai filosofi juga, tapi terutama mengenai teknologi ya. Alex merasa kita harus tetap berkembang dan keep up ya dengan teknologi secara update dengan standarisasi yang lebih modern juga, karena inilah caranya kita bisa membandingkan diri bukan hanya di dalam negara kita sendiri antara liga atau antara tim, tapi bisa membandingkan kita di level yang sama sama negara-negara lain juga secara internasional. Dan kembali lagi ke filosofi, ini juga jadi sesuatu yang mungkin bisa membantu kita memperbarui atau update filosofi kita juga, karena negara-negara lain di dunia sepak bola juga tetap akan maju dan akan adaptasi secara filosofi juga, jadi kita juga harus bisa melakukan hal yang sama. Oke, saya berterima kasih atas waktunya. Welcome, and it's great having you back. So let's start by first having you share perhaps your quick kind of short-term and then perhaps further into your long-term plan as your new role as technical director for the Indonesian Football Federation.
Yeah, so I'm a strong believer that it's never an individual who makes success. It's a nation who makes success. It's a club who makes success. And like the video was ending is, let's shape the game together. And that's also my philosophy. So we build up a nation together. Everybody's involved. Everybody needs to be aligned. Everybody needs to be listened to. Where are we? How does it look like? What are the strengths? What should be built on? Where are the gaps? So everybody should be involved, from the grassroots coach to the professional coach. Everybody needs to be together and together to design the plan for the long term. So for this reason, I would like to give myself also the first 100 days just to listen, to talk, to analyze, to observe. Where is Indonesia now? What's been the strong points? What's been done the last couple of years? There's tremendous work being done. And where are the strengths? Where are the gaps? And where we need to go to? So yeah, it's shaping the game together. I think that's the most important, because we all have one purpose, a bigger Indonesia as a nation, all together.
Okay, so I think the common thread there would be success is achieved together, I believe. Jadi untuk Alex, dia sangat percaya bahwa kesuksesan itu harus dibangun bersama, mau itu dari sebuah negara ataupun dari sebuah klub, dan itu caranya untuk bisa membentuk bersama, untuk bisa membangun bersama juga, dan dia juga sangat percaya bahwa semuanya harus mulai dari bawah, dari level grassroots sampai pun amatir sebelum masuk ke level profesional. Dan di sini dia ingin banyak cari tahu dulu, apalagi dari 100 hari pertama di mana dia akan observasi, analisa, dia akan bertemu sama yang lain-lain juga untuk bisa menilai apa ini tujuan kebersamaannya dan gimana caranya untuk ngisi kekosongan ataupun bisa analisa kekuatan kita di mana saja. So, when you were appointed as technical director of the JFA, or Jordan Football Association, that was in 2019. At that time, Jordan was ranked 98th in the FIFA rankings, and during your 6-year tenure, they have risen to 64th and qualified for the first ever World Cup. So could you tell us what changed in your time there and how you plan on applying some of those experiences here to our federation and our program?
Yeah, so there was an amazing story where the achievement is not being done by one individual, but it's done by a system. So you need to have sustainable success, so it's not only a one-time a day success, so you need to build a proper system where you have opportunities for talented players to be in the loop, to develop themselves, to have proper coaches in front of them who understands the need through education systems, build up a good, clear player pathway from the village to the first national team. So, and that there's a good, clear identification system, but then also that clubs can work in a good way on a long term, so that competition models are being designed that you have a lot of playing opportunities. It's competency based, so level based, so that same level is playing against each other no matter what the level is. If you're now playing in club level, village level, or you're playing at professional level, how strong and how competitive the game is, how more enjoy and fun you will have. So a proper competition system is very important, education system, talent identification, give the original talent an opportunity to grow to the national team system, and have also an international scouting system available to grow into development plan. And I think the most important is that it starts with identity. So where we are standing for, Indonesia, where we are standing for, how we want to be played, how we build up the connection between the nation and the national team itself. So between the people as well to your national football philosophy. There need to be alignment, there need to be harmony between each other so it's recognizable. So the values of the nation itself need to be implemented inside your national football philosophy, what's been spread out over the different pillars.
Okay. Saya sebenarnya nanyakan sekalian juga menunjukkan, mengingatkan bahwa Jordan ini saat di 2019 ranking di FIFA-nya di posisi 98 dan saat ini saya baru cek tadi pagi juga mereka di posisi 64 dan sudah kualifikasi untuk Piala Dunia untuk pertama kali. Jadi saya menanya Alex apa yang dia observasi dalam 6 tahun dia di sana dan yang bisa diaplikasikan ke sini, dan sebenarnya dia mulai dengan membahas bahwa sebuah sistem ini yang bisa membangun kesuksesan bukan dari individu, dan ini caranya untuk bisa membuat ini sustainable atau bertahan, terutama ada banyak hal yang harus dibangun dari kepelajaran edukasi untuk bisa membangun sistem ini juga. Gimana caranya untuk membangun jalur atau perjalanan dari pemain atau pemain muda yang dari perkampungan sampai ke level pro, dan ini juga harus ada sebuah sistem untuk identifikasi bakat or talent identification. Ada juga hal-hal seperti scouting secara internasional, dan yang paling penting adalah Indonesia sepak bola ini identitasnya apa? Soalnya identitasnya sepak bola Indonesia ini harus dalam satu jalur dan bersama dengan filosofi yang akan dijalankan, dan value kita sendiri sebagai sebuah negara. Jadi rakyat dan negara kita dan tim sepak bola dan federasi semua harus bersatu untuk punya visi dan misi yang sama.